Welcome back to Cyber Sea of Galilee, DSMME, on this July 7th. It is the feast of another Dominican. Yes, we have a lot of Dominicans, and I want you to know them and love them too. This one is Blessed Benedict the 11th, and he was born in Treviso, Italy in 1240 and entered the order as a young man. And he had great compassion. He was a very warm-hearted person. He was elected the 9th Master General of the Order in 1296. Master General, meaning the one taking the place of St. Dominic, the head of everyone. Today it's Father Gerald Timoner the third, and he is our master of the order today. And we love him. We know him personally. We work with him. One of our sisters certainly does. And he's wonderful. So back to Blessed Benedict. He was born Nicholas and then took the name Benedict as a Dominican, and when he became Pope. So he became Pope also and worked to bring peace to Italy and Germany and to reconcile France with the papacy at that point in time, which was really the very beginning of the 14th century. But the gospel today is a particularly beautiful one. I love it because one of my saints is mentioned. It's from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verses 1 to 7. And Jesus is calling the disciples together, and he's giving them power to cast out unclean spirits. Now, a priest has that ability to cast out an unclean spirit. We don't, but what we do have certainly is holy water, the sacramentals, the rosaries, the blessed rosaries and scapulars and medals, and the holy water. And then certainly we have the power of the priesthood, and we have the great gift of confession. And so he's getting his group together as time is moving on, and he now has 12 apostles. And this particular gospel mentions them all, and I love to think about them. First is always going to be listed as Simon, who is also called Peter, and then my saint, his brother, Andrew. And then we have James, the son of Zebedee, John, his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew, the publican, and James, the son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, and Simon, the Cananean. And sadly, the very last one always mentioned is the only one who apostatized, Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. He gets this band of men, some saints, some sinners, all sinners ultimately, but some who would become great saints. And he sends them out, and he tells them to go out to the center of the cities and to bring the lost sheep to the house of Israel. In other words, he tells them a very Dominican thing. He says, go out and preach to the whole world. And why would I call that a very Dominican thing? Because when Dominic founded the order in the 12th and 13th centuries, his whole goal was preaching and teaching. And Christ says something in verse 7 of this 10th chapter of Matthew, and I love it. He says, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Do we stop during our days and realize the kingdom of heaven is at hand? The Eucharist is in every single tabernacle and all the churches of the entire world. Do we go by Catholic churches and make the sign of the cross in reverence to Christ, whom we are passing in our car or on our walk? Or do we run into churches when we're able to and genuflect and just say, Jesus, I love you? And if we can't even do some of these things, do we have special altars in our own homes and places where we go that it's just quiet and it's just me and God? And for you parents, that might be difficult to do, but work together and maybe you can carve out that time. And for you young people, you need to do that. You need to grow up with a special place in your home called your family altar, where you have a statue of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and a statue of Mary and a statue of Joseph. And then you also have other blessed statues and sacramentals, medals and holy cards and relics. And you live your faith because they too, these great saints, want to take up a dwelling in your own home with your own family. And you invite them in, and your family becomes part of heaven's family with all these saints by their sacramentals and their relics and their medals and their holy cards and all the devotional pamphlets, etc. I know that was very formative for me growing up. And I was always looking at our altar and seeing if mom or dad had put down anything new because I was always interested in this. You don't know how the children are watching. They're watching everything. Take it from one who saw everything. And what does Christ say in today's gospel? Go out and preach and teach. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Have a very blessed day.